Hi, everyone. This is Jessica Sacheret. Welcome to Higher Ed Matters, our podcast where we talk about all things related to higher education and marketing through our agency's lens. And with me today, I have Michael Walliver from Magellan Promotions. Today, we're going to talk about promotional items as part of a higher education marketing toolkit, which has always been kind of a mainstay for colleges and universities. Michael, welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here today.
Yeah, so we've both been in the industry for quite some time. We've both, have chosen to work alongside colleges and universities, kind of on in different, areas in terms of marketing. What, attracted you as the owner of a promotional item? And also, I want to ask this question real quick. So, sidebar: promotional item or premium item from an industry expert?
Yeah. So the going term right now is promo merch is the trending terminology. Promotional products is often the word that I will use. But yes, we go by many a term. That's for sure.
Okay, so I like promo merch. That sounds nice.
It does.
Okay, so back to, your choice in, obviously you can work with so many different industries and, there's probably lots of different niche paths. Why higher education?
There's two really things I love working with colleges. One is on the promo side, there's really a nice solutions that we can really help our collegiate clients with, especially in recruitment or alumni and advancement, finding products that not just are an item to hand out, but something that's actually going to help influence and create engagement and excite. We did research on our reached out and did some proprietary research on the influence of promotional items and really saw that from people who are in the college space as to the effect on it. And we love the fact that we can really not just provide products, but be solution based. And the second big thing we love about working with colleges is that promo in college space it's just a natural, as you said at the top. It's always been there, but it's in there because people love to have that brand identifier, that tribe identifier of who they're associated with. And colleges are a great lifelong identifier that people have. And promo is a wonderful way to build that community and extend it. So it's people are truly excited about it. If I got a T-shirt for my dentist, it's fine, right? But you get one from your college, oh, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to put the sticker around my water bottle. And so there's that piece of it that really is fun for us to work off of.
And that's one of the things we love about colleges and universities. It's a totally different vibe than most other industries. There is like this inherent pride in the brand, no matter where you go. All of the people that work for, did attend, or that it's even just in their city. There is a baseline pride and like brand affinity, like kind of baked into colleges and universities, which probably makes it great for that logoed, merchandise.
Absolutely. And it just makes it fun. And our team really gets excited about the projects and it really resonates with them. And that's part of what we love to do is just help create that. And we'd like to think about, as I said at the top, we love to be solutions based. And how can we provide information that's going to help people think through the use of promo, right? We talk about pens a lot and pens not being the most exciting promotional item. You're not going to choose a school over a pen, right? But there are products that are going to help influence and help excite and engage. And having some documentation to show that can help discuss open opportunities for us to open minds up. Or, oh, there is more to it than just handing out a drawstring at an open house. Let's think about it strategically versus just let's hand something out to hand something out.
For sure. Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Like we often will use promotional products as part of, those admit packs. We are always trying to make them more and more exciting and, different than what you might have seen before. So tell me a little bit about I know you do the same kinds of things. So what kinds of products are you seeing, work well, and what are you recommending to clients right now?
Absolutely. That's we love working on admit packs because admitting a student is such a seminal moment in someone's you know career or path of going through education, right? Going up to your senior in high school, and now you've finally gotten there. So we look at it in three different phases. The first phase is just that unboxing experience, and we love those YouTube videos of unboxing and um, what people that experience is. But that definitely does relate back into this as to how, instead of getting a white envelope, how does that envelope look when you receive it? Is it a full color envelope that can have fun branding on there that's going to tell a story? Are you or are you going to do a box? Can we do a box that's printed on just not full color on the inside, but on just not on the outside, but the inside as well, and really bring the whole thing to fruition? And it just becomes really a great opportunity to that first receipt experience. And then you get into the products that are inside. And promo is great because it's something that it's a marketing piece, but also has that long-term longevity that you can share with others, that people can see it, and it comes that tribe, as I said before, tribe identifiers. So when you receive a product that comes in your admit box, having items that are shareable, that you can wear, that you can use, that you can put onto your backpack or on your water bottle or your laptop, or you can wear like a pair of socks. So items that are truly just going to excite, that people can use right away, we're seeing a lot of. So over the last couple of years, we've done a lot of sock projects and stickers, but there's just an incredible range of items that also want to reflect back on what the branding of the university is, and what type of messaging they want to send. So many of the projects that we deal with are very custom, based off of what the school is looking for and how to best connect and resonate with their students.
For sure. And then when you're doing those, when we are, honestly working on any kind of marketing tactic that has a mailed component, right? We are doing our very best to make sure that the marketing message is as authentic and distinctive to that college. There is often in higher education marketing, the challenge of how do we set ourselves apart? We might be a small private liberal arts university, but how do we make that? How do we differentiate amongst a variety of small private liberal arts colleges that a particular student might be interested in? So can you tell me anything about any projects maybe that you dug a little deeper into the brand story, or where that marketing kind of speak kind of plays into what the piece is that your company would recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of examples to share. So, what we have seen over the last couple of years is stickers have become our number one item. And the reason they're number one for us is because we do them differently than a lot of others. We really have bought into that overall brand story that you can take advantage of with stickers. So, you can easily just do a standalone sticker sheet, or standalone sticker that's a die cut piece. But when you do a sticker sheet, then you have a full opportunity to have the branding on the background. You can have a story, whatever information you want to provide on the sheet, along with as many stickers that you want integrated that are die cut onto that sheet itself. So you have something that has long-term residence. It's inexpensive. People love it. I was out with some friends the other day, and they were talking about how their students who have seniors in high school, their kids were fighting over the stickers that came in the mail, and from a college. And so people love the product. It can go on so many different things, but at the same time, it tells that story that the school wants to do. One example, we work with California University of Pennsylvania, and we did as all colleges do, they cast a wide net early on in the search process. So they were reaching out to sophomores and juniors and wanted to do that in an inexpensive but still interactive and memorable way. And so we did sticker postcards that can directly mail through, that can go right through the mail, and they had a really fun design on the front of it. And on the back side, they had different information for their juniors and their sophomores that they were reaching out to about college tour information, tips for search, but just a really neat way to connect with a wide audience, but still make it interactive and long lasting than just a simple print piece that stands on its own.
Yeah, I love that idea so much for the underclassmen. Because we were just actually having this conversation the other day with a prospective client that we were talking about a variety of different kind of print pieces and collateral pieces to put together for the new cycle. And one of those things that they were kind of in need of was a piece that they get a lot of requests, not only from like sophomores and juniors and underclassmen, but often guidance counselors for, kind of college nights, or even middle school students, like, younger students that they can't, at that point, is it really appropriate to give them the $5 view book? And what could they give these younger students that is inexpensive but makes an impact? And often too, we were talking about how, sometimes when you're on that younger side of a student that maybe, maybe college is, you haven't been talking about college since middle school, right? Like maybe you're just starting to think about college. That first outreach from whomever that college is, like, makes an impact on a younger student. And I think that a sticker or a sticker postcard is a great idea to do, an inexpensive first touch, something that they'll keep, put on their, you know, uh, laptop or, their water bottle, and kind of keep that with them for years, really, until they start the real college search. So I love that.
Yeah, it's such an inexpensive way to create that long-term impact.
Right. So we're right in the smack in the middle of yield season. We're approaching May 1st very quickly. What are you seeing some of your clients use as part of that? Either go from admitted student to deposit, or sometimes it's deposit gifts. So, like, once a student does deposit, then they get something that kind of welcomes them to the family. What are some examples of good promo promo merch? I'm going to use the right word this time. Promo merch for admitted students.
Bucket hats are, trending in retail right now.
They're back. Everything that's old is new again. I wore bucket hats in the late 90s. Everything I did in the late 90s seems to be.
Right. Yes, I got one at an Orioles game back in the late '90s. So it's fun how those things circle back. And I go to the industry show in Vegas every year, and they were all over the industry floor back in January. So finding products are going to resonate. They're going to be, um, you know, they're going to be seen. That are going to make people be excited and just a little bit fun. We do a lot from helping celebrate that deposit, because it is such a neat experience. Like, okay, now I've committed to the school. How can we help that student then celebrate that decision? So we work with a number of schools to do like tassel toppers that can go on top of the mortar boards for the high school graduations. Integrating promotional items into those high school graduations, I think, is a great opportunity, because not only is the student then showing off their pride for going to that school at the high school graduation, but then their friends, their family all can see that, and they may become a little bit more internalized to that decision making. In addition, it just creates more awareness about that school at that event, and like, oh, this person's going to Butler or Minnesota or wherever. So we love finding, like, we do Mylar balloons for that we've sent out on behalf of clients. We've also been doing a lot of yard signs the last few years, and
Mm.
getting involved in, because those people love to show off that pride. And how can you do that in a way that people will be excited about doing it? And yard signs have definitely been trending. And one of the hard things with yard signs is they're not easy to mail.
Right.
And if you have an admitted student day, you can hand them out. But also, if they're the big corrugated ones, you're walking around with a big corrugated sign. It's not the easiest thing to take around. You have the frame that goes along with it. So we've been doing a lot of packable ones. I've been working hard with our production partners to create ones that can be easily mailed.
Very cool. And I think that's another reason why stickers are so awesome as part of really at any point in the funnel, just because they don't need a box. They mail in something flat.
Yes.
So that's always kind of like that afterthought of like, I really love this thing. And then you kind of forget that you also have to get it in the mail somehow, or how you're going to get it into the hands of someone, and how expensive that's going to be on top of it.
Is. I mean, we do a lot of mailings, and we have a whole checklist that we go through, because there's a lot of decision points you have to do in order to understand the cost. But when someone starts talking about drinkware, drinkware always is going to extend the cost, especially if it's glass, because that increases it tremendously. But even just a water bottle, now ensuring that the container is going to have to be large enough to hold that water bottle. versus now we can't do it in envelope. So all these different decisions that we look at as to how, because we look at that, we know that there's an overall budget and the decisions you make when you're thinking about it, how that increases your overall cost.
For
So yes, that's another reason you're exactly right. Why stickers are so great because they are very inexpensive and also just to deliver.
mm-hmm. So, we've talked about a couple of different, decision points, right? The admitted student, the deposit, the kind of summer melt or anti-melt types of campaigns. Have you worked with any clients that are kind of working really well throughout the entire funnel, using promo merch as a tool throughout?
Yeah, absolutely. And those are our favorite. Yeah, I think every agency talks about that. Those are your favorite clients, right? Because they've really bought into seeing you as a partner and not just a provider of the products. And we love to help brainstorm and think through the whole process because I've had this for in the many of the days that I've talked with admissions offices is we we don't want our recipients to receive the same product twice during the recruitment process. They come to an open house and they get a t-shirt and they come for a tour and they get the same t-shirt. Like, okay, no, we have to like, figure this part out.
Right.
And we love to help brainstorm and think that through. So one great example that we have is with a school called Simmons University out of Boston. And they're all women's college. And we actually did a presentation with them last year at a conference. It was after the 20, it was reviewing the 2020-2021 recruitment cycle. So during COVID, how can they engage with their um, prospective students physically when the real options are only digitally? And figuring out how to incorporate the promo piece into that. And so we started at the top with them. We had an open house, and so they had a virtual open house and how to create engagement after it. We did a brand envelope, full color envelope that included a die cut sticker and a mouse pad, and encouraging them to take that next step and to apply. So the next step, when they applied and were accepted, we did a pack that had a bubble envelope, and inside the bubble envelope it had a beanie cap, a really fun design sticker sheet. Their logo is the Sharks, which we love, and the had a lot of printed material that we had actually helped produce for them, and also insert card that invited them to one of their admitted student day events that was virtual. So when the students went to those admitted student day events, what we did was after they attended, we sent them a really fun pair of shark socks that had they're also the low cut ones, and we know those women really like those. And then they also did a really nice scholarship dinner. So they're trying to figure out how to replicate that event. So they partnered with HelloFresh, and the students who are attending the scholarship dinner could have the HelloFresh delivered to them. But they also wanted to have a promotional piece, that long lasting, memorable experience of a promo, how to integrate that in. So we have these just simple key tags that I think are really sharp. I didn't love key tags for a long time in this industry because it was like when I got into the industry, it was pens, calendars, and key tags. And I'm like, so I stayed away from that. But I've come back to them because I really like this design, very collegiate, very simple, inexpensive, easy to mail. So those recipients received those. And then when they deposited, the students received a really fun plush shark, a fun little toy that had an insert card that talked about their excitement about joining Simmons University. And then I thought was really smart, what they did was they also integrated the parents into it, because we know that the parents have a strong influence over not just the student where they decide to go, but the long-term retention. And if the parents are a good supporter of the school, then there's a better chance that the student will stick around. And so they sent the parents a tumbler and also a garden flag for them to showcase their Simmons pride. So it was a really fun opportunity for us to walk through each step of the funnel with them and think through ideas to help them resonate with their prospective students. And at the end, we talked about them was like, well, how did it go? What were the results out of it? And so they said that during the year they were struggling with their numbers, and I think a lot of people were because they're just trying to figure out how to recruit during COVID and turn on a dime. Um, And so they were able to, they were struggled from behind, but they get getting closer and closer to their numbers. And by the end of the recruitment cycle, they were exactly to where they wanted to be. And they felt that promo really helped them create that physical connection when they couldn't really connect physically and just digitally. So it was a fun experience to work with them and reflect upon after all that work what happened with it.
Yeah, those are such fantastic ideas. We worked with several clients obviously during the pandemic as well, and what a great way to sort of kind of repurpose travel funds that weren't being used, and we went when we weren't visiting high schools and having college fairs to really kind of beef up that promo merch budget. That those are some really cool ideas. I love those. And you also brought up another audience that loves themselves some merch, the influencers, right? The parents, guidance counselors, I'm sure. I mean, colleges and universities often have some kind of special item that they deliver or send to counselors because they want them to also keep them top of mind. What are some of the examples that you've seen for influencers, not the student themselves, but the people that may be suggesting or reminding students of their school?
Absolutely. No, high school counselors has been a consistent area that we have conversations with because you're right. You look at how can you get on their radar screen, and we know that high school counselors do play a part in helping suggest and give ideas as to schools to look at. So it's everything from we've done water bottles, and typically when we look at promo, we're trying to think of something that is going to just not just be a product, but something that they're going to use. And if they use it every day, then you're able to build more resonance with them. To desk related items, like we love coasters because coasters, everyone has a drink at their desk during the day and given it a spot and a home to use it. From charging pads to like your um, or not just mouse pads, but chargers that you can put onto your desk from the charging cables, other just useful tools that are going to help them in their day. They're going to see it on a continual basis to build that top of mind is definitely an area that we're always trying to explore, think through, and suggest with our collegiate clients.
For sure. And we've focused a lot on, enrollment marketing and admissions, but
Yeah.
really all areas of colleges and universities seem to need and use promotional marketing materials. So what other kinds of offices and examples do you have of, branching out from the admissions office?
Yeah, so we have one college campus that we worked with over 100 different departments on that campus. So when we look at a college campus, we say it's basically the four A's: admissions, alumni, advancement, and athletics. Those are the ones that we work with the most. And basically, the challenge at alumni is different than the recruitment side because the recruitment, it's a different set of students every year you're recruiting towards. Alumni, it's the same alumni you're sending information to or you're connecting with at events, and you want to keep it fresh and different. So they're always on the lookout for things that are going to be that they haven't done before to keep it fresh with their alumni. So they're a lot of fun to work with and think through. We do a lot of our reunion events. So like Grinnell College, we do a lot with them for their summer reunions and putting together really neat packets for their attendees just to create community amongst themselves. And then on the advancement, there's two main revenue streams of colleges. It's the admissions part, and then the endowments and the opportunities to build through that. And we've really been talking a lot with colleges these days on the advancement side, on the fundraising, and saying how can we help reward, how can we help create awareness and excitement around those campaigns. We work with Baldwin Wallace University, and one of the projects we did for them was a really neat puzzle piece. A puzzle project where they give out they have donors that they recognize every year who have given 20 years in a row. And so we took an iconic picture of campus and did that full color on a puzzle, like a 250 piece puzzle, and they sent it out to their 20-year donors. This is a neat way to thank them and create just an exciting piece of a Baldwin Wallace that they were able to connect with. So we love thinking through ideas to help those departments solve their challenges and help them be successful in their work. And so it's really fun to have those differing contrasts of the going from the working with the students on the recruitment side all the way to the advancement and fundraising side.
So we're getting to summer, and summer is kind of historically, like going back to the admissions and enrollment world, is typically sort of where we're kind of transitioning from one recruitment year to another, starting to rethink your budget and kind of how you want to kind of make tweaks to your enrollment marketing plan. And as with all industries, there is always like insider tips and tricks of how to shop for something or consider certain details. So from the pro, what kinds of tips and advice, like if they're kind of starting to think like, how could I kind of reimagine how I use promo merch in my enrollment kit? What would be your top advice?
Yeah, no, I love this question. There's really four areas that I focus in on. And the first, number one, is that by far the industry is totally overwhelming, right? And I just said, how many different custom type of projects that we can get involved in. There's over a million different types of promotional items out there, and not every product is the same. So relying on a professional to help guide you through the selection, because it's if it's overwhelming to us, we're in it every day. It's totally overwhelming to the person who looks at an item 2 to 3 times a year. So it's constantly um, asking companies who you can trust to walk through the idea selection for you and saying, either I'm looking for a water bottle and I'm looking between this price, or I did a water bottle last year. This is who it's going to. What else do you recommend? And having them do that searching for you. I think you can cut down a lot of time and get much better results, because at the end of the day, the product represents your brand, and you don't want to hand out a product that you're not proud of. And so we hold our clients' brands in high esteem, and we want to make sure that they're getting a product that they're going to be proud of. And being in the industry, we can know that, and on the outside, it's hard to. So that's using someone to help select. Number two, it's just knowing the use, understanding the use of it. How do you want the user to experience the product? So, if you want it to be a social media influencer campaign, like we have a product that we do, the roll banners that we have done in admitted packs, and Iowa State does a great job on their design. They have logos on each side, and they encourage their students to post it on social, and they create the pathways to make it easy for them to put it on social. Number three is just think about the quality of the item and how that relates to what the user wants. So one of my favorite examples along this lines is t-shirts. So when I got in the industry, the 6.1 ounce 100% cotton Gildan 2000 was the t-shirt that everyone went with. And
Mhm.
it's so much different today. Um, if you're on retail, you're buying a ring spun cotton that's really soft, might have a polyester blend in there, or spandex, and it's just a comfortable t-shirt. But so many times clients come to us and say, hey, we can you give us a price for 2,000 t-shirts, and we want to do just the cheap one. And you're like, oh, it the student might be excited about getting it, but they're not going to want to wear this shirt because it's not that comfortable.
Right.
And they're going to go to the one that's comfortable. And so can we spend an additional $1.50 a shirt to get a shirt that they would at least want to get in retail? Do you want it to be in the back of the closet, or do you want it to be worn? And if it's going to be in the back of the closet, maybe we shouldn't do it. Thinking about that piece, or even have it's a women's cut. Do we want a percentage of them to be women's cut because my wife is petite and doesn't, men's small doesn't work well on her, right? And so like getting a shirt that fits that person goes a long way in helping making sure that they are using it long term. And then the last thing is thinking about the artwork. What turns a product from just a product that you can get at a store to a promo piece is the logo, right? It's the if we're printing University of Wisconsin logo on it, all of a sudden it's a promo merch product. And there's lots of ways to decorate and have the logo be put on there. It's the easy, simple thing is put our logo on it and let's be done. Like, all right, can we think about it a little bit more and think about it? How can what is there a fun design element that we can integrate within there? Do we want to print on both sides of this water bottle? Do we want to have some fun sayings that are going to be integrated into it to just create some long lasting impact, or maybe just make the person smile and be excited about it in a different way? So, just thinking about the artwork piece and not just the easy thing again, put the head down, do the logo, and be done, but being more thoughtful about that. So those are the 4 tips that I have today.
That's great. And I love what you said about the quality of the item and how spending just a little bit more um, makes such a big difference in how that piece is received. Because sometimes we will have similar conversations with clients because we might, produce a print piece, right? And we've put all this investment and time into, fresh copy and gorgeous design, and then kind of want to skimp on the paper stock, to make the production a little bit cheaper. And the impact that I don't even know, maybe $2,000 investment has on how the student kind of receives the piece, and like the look and the feel of the final piece is so important. It's almost like the quality of the item that the college is giving to the student almost has this relationship to how the college is perceived and how like valued that student is to the college.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Because you give out a pen and it falls apart right away and it has the school's logo on it. They're like, well, how are they investing in their school? Is this, where do they see the quality of it? So it goes all the way down to the very inexpensive items are still brand reflectors upon the school. And how do you think about that? And how does that reflect upon who you want to be? And if they receive a Camelback water bottle, that's not going to go to the back of the shelf, right? That's going to be used. And seen on a continual basis, and you might have to spend a few more dollars for it, but if that's the reaction you want, then that's where you go for, or you do something totally different instead of your very inexpensive bike bottle that probably isn't going to be used because they probably already have one that's better than that. So
Right.
yes.
Yeah, so interesting. Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. For any folks that are listening that would like to, be in touch and talk to you about their plans for the next year, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Well, you go to our website, magellanpromotions.com, and we have a contact information on there and whole about us. And I'm happy to reach out and happy to connect if you reach out and see what we can do to be of help and um, see what we can suggest to help you with your projects.
Awesome. Thanks again, Michael. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, it's always so fun to connect with you, Jessica.
All right. Hopefully, we'll do it again soon. I'm sure we can find something else to talk about, right?
That'd be great.
Awesome. Thanks.